Had a little listen to his podcast, huh?
Dude, it's educational. And besides, I've been wanting to listen to this one.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and the fan fiction it inspires. Before we begin, just want to remind you to follow us wherever you listen so you don't miss any episodes or bonus content. If you love what we do and want an easy way to show your support, please consider leaving us a positive that's all the stars rating on your favorite listening platform. It helps SPN and fanfic lovers find us and share in the fun. I'm Sandra.
I'm Kasey, and we're ranking more things, y'all. Help, we've got a problem. No, it's totally fine. We're fine. Shut up. You don't know. No, we did a favorite one-off characters. You remember? Because I fucked up, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I really like this character. There was in 2 episodes because I'm an idiot. And we thought, hey, let's do a worst one-off characters. And I'll fess up. I'll be honest. I didn't do my homework, and I had to ask Sandra to copy her notes. But it's not that I didn't do my homework and then rocked up this morning like, I haven't done it. I spoke to Sandra like 3 days ago about this, and I was like, have you found any? Because I can't find fucking any. Like, and she's like, yeah, I found a few. And I'm like, where are you finding them? I can't find a fucking list. I can't find a wiki page. I can't find nothing. And she's like, oh, I'm just going through season by season. And then I cried. I was like, I have to go season by season on the wiki.
No. Well, I didn't do it on the wiki. So like stuff like this, I just go on like IMDb or whatever. And I just go through like, the list that way. Well, why? It's still just going through information.
By episode.
No, you don't. You don't have to go through episode by episode with IMDb. You can go by season and then you just scroll through the names and yeah. But again, this gets into the situation where you don't necessarily know a show by its title, you know a show by its bloopers. So that if we could have this is the blooper episode, then you would know which episode that is. So as we've said, I unfortunately know the title aspect of stuff better than you do.
Sandra has more in-depth knowledge of Supernatural and its various stuff. I don't know. There's I want to say like you know the show more mechanically than I do, but I don't necessarily think that's right. You know more of the fine details of the show.
Maybe just the background stuff that's not blooper related. Like who did what on the episode, like who directed or maybe who wrote a certain episode.
Yeah, no, I have no idea about any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sandra knows that. Sandra's like, oh yeah, this was written by such and such, and this was directed by such and such, and this was in the such and such era.
But it's like how we talk about, you know how you start to like you see patterns or you see how like one character is written by a certain like Robbie Thompson writes all of Charlie's episodes except for the last one. Like those kinds of things. Like so it's that kind of stuff that, I pay attention to because I find that stuff more interesting than you do. And you find the bloopers more interesting than I do.
I remember some plot points. Some of them. I remember some of the plot points.
If they're related to Sam's hair.
Oh. Shut up. I was about to call out nihilism as an episode that I know because of the episode, and I don't. I know this is the fucking blooper.
So yeah, anyway, this was probably a hindrance.
I know bloopers that I don't know the episodes of. I don't know which fucking episode it is where Jensen loses his shit trying to make he used us, he lied to us, he cracked her, and the only reason that's in my head is because I saw that on Instagram this morning. Shut up, I know plot points. I know plot points. I just know bloopers as well.
Hey, it wouldn't be our podcast if we all knew the same thing. You know what I mean? So we all love different aspects of it. That's what makes us unique and special. And that's why people like to listen to us. So as we stumble through the worst one-off characters.
Let's go with that. Everyone loves it when Kasey doesn't know what the fuck's going on. No, Sandra very generously was like, well, I have 5. I'll try and find another 5 and we'll split them. And so she did find another 5. She messaged me. She was like, take a look at the list. Like, pick your favorite 5 and we'll do it like that. And then I looked at the list and realized that I only knew about 3 people on the fucking list. So when we got together today, she was like, did you look at the list? And I was like, yeah, we should just run through it all 10 because we're doing 10 characters anyway, and I can't pick 5 that I even fucking know. So that's what we're gonna do. So it's a joint combined worst. Pick 5 of them and say that they're mine. Okay?
Well, we
I
can
don't
say
know what
which
to tell
ones
you.
once we talk about it too. If you're like, yeah, they really, I really think they were the worst one-off. So yeah, I think we're just going to kind of stumble through, see what's going on with our worst one-offs. And I think the thing I was trying to figure out too is like, why are they the worst in my brain? And sometimes it could be because of the performance. Maybe I think the character, it's kind of like forgettable, or it just didn't land for me. It usually doesn't have anything as much to do with like the actor themselves as much as it's just like the performance of it, I feel. So we're not like hating on the actors that, you know, have
no, it's okay. It's a
played
character
this.
thing.
But it's definitely just a character thing. And I think some of these kind of run into the Monster of the Week ones. Sometimes I appreciate some of them and sometimes I don't. And I think, you know, a lot of them, I think, tend to be I don't know, maybe the monsters in this. I was trying to figure out if there's a theme, but there isn't. But okay. So I thought that as part of like the 10 that I picked, we should just right off the bat say that we need to give a special award to the entire backdoor pilot cast of Bloodlines. And again, has nothing to do with any of the actors. It was just such a weak, weird episode. I just did not like, I didn't like, there wasn't even one performance in there that I was like, yeah, I'm intrigued by this character situation. It was all very mafia-esque, but it was just weird. I don't know if you liked it.
When you say the entire cast, do you just mean like the monsters? Because the guy whose girlfriend died that teamed up with Sam and Dean, I was kind of into that. I didn't mind him.
He got on my nerves too. I don't know. I guess because it wasn't the
But the thing is about
he
that.
was being stupid.
Fuck you, random dude whose name we can't remember. Well, no, because the thing is, and this is not, I'm looking back at it now, and that kind of, it ties in quite closely with Huey's story in The Boys at the beginning. You know, his girlfriend gets murdered.
Yeah, but those are great characters right off the bat. You like, you know what I mean? There's just like something endearing about the characters.
That's what I mean. I think I'm looking back on it favorably because it reminds me of the way Huey started in The Boys. And I will go on record as saying I'm not an enormous fan of the story that the character of Huey has taken. Really. But back at the start when he was still like a whimpering, crying raw dog me on my bottom, you know, like way back when I was endeared to that, you know, that was quite endearing.
I think it's because the way the show was written, that episode, it felt very heavy-handed. And even like the beginning, you know, where you're like, you know, he's having dinner with his girlfriend, I think I don't know if he was like if they were engaged. I don't even remember if like he proposed or what the heck happened.
I think he proposed at the dinner. And
it was just, I don't know, it's just they were really trying to like stuff too much stuff, and like I just didn't like it. It was over, to me it felt over the top. And I get that Supernatural in and of itself is an over the top show, but they did not create any characters that would make me want to watch a show about them. You know, like that was where it came down to. So yeah. But you could totally, dude that you do not know the name of, which you might be looking up right now.
No, I'm not. No.
Sure, you can have him if we want to have all the other monsters that are going through.
No,
through some shit.
I always end up quite endeared to the people that Sam and Dean swoop in to save, that kind of end up taking an active role in their saving.
Yeah,
like Sarah Blake.
Yeah, no, and that's.
I like that as a concept, and unfortunately, it does so happen to be that it tends to be the guys that do that, like Ron from the fucking the bank episode. What's it called, Sandra?
Oh,
I say Night Stalker, but I don't think it is.
Night Shifter. Yeah.
Yeah, like Ron. I loved Ron.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Ron was great, aside from that. But I like the characters that take a vested interest in saving their own lives.
No, I'm
here
that.
for that.
But there's got to be something else that, I don't know, like, I loved Ron. Like, he would have been somebody, you know, and again, he does come back, but just like as a ghost or whatever. So we couldn't include him in the best one-off characters. But he was he was immediately endearing. He was a little like, you know, quirky. You liked him, you know? And I just don't know. I didn't really like anything. They weren't likable to me. The whole,
and you know what, again, as well, looking back on it with 2025 eyes,
Mm.
the idea of a few powerful families controlling a whole bunch of shit and moving chess pieces around, and the paws are the ones that, like, I don't like that. That's
Well,
not what we're doing.
that kind of stuff felt very soap opera, like stuff I remember from like Dallas or Dynasty, or like that kind of like the 80s vibe of like those kinds of
like
shows.
high
Yeah.
society families. and it's all
Sopranos,
about
but with
face
monsters, like that kind of thing is
Yeah.
what I think they were going for. And I just didn't
Doesn't do it for me.
do it for me. So yeah, so that's like sort of like one of our 10 is just all of that cast, because I just felt like there was no way I could have probably picked one. We could have done 10 characters just from that one episode.
Wasn't
and I just
there wasn't there some kind of like weird Romeo and Juliet vampire werewolf love
Mhm.
going on as well? Ugh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. And actually, the actress in that was in like the Romeo and Juliet thing, she actually plays now. She was in like one episode of Tracker, that the show that Jensen's been on with Justin Hartley, that Tracker show. She plays their sister. So I'm waiting to see if they'll ever have an episode with, her back with Jensen, like if he ever comes back for another like special guest starring thing. But so again, like nothing to the actors themselves. It was just not good. And I just feel like they all were made to do a disservice.
Yeah, sorry guys. You have the unfortunate, you're unfortunately tied to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry guys.
So the next ones I just kind of put in season order. And I was saying to Kasey beforehand, I don't think I even started with like seasons 1 and 2 because I really couldn't find any character I really disliked that much, in the first 2 seasons. But I started at 3, and I'm pretty sure I think I found a character in every season that I disliked. So I stopped at season 8 because Kasey's only really like rewatched a couple times up to season 8. So I was like, at this point, I've got our 10. We're good. We don't need to try to tax your memory any more than we're already doing right now with all these characters.
I was gonna say.
So for season 3, and I just picked this one because I absolutely hate the delivery, and I don't even understand why they made this character say this. So if someone could enlighten me, I just think it's a very dated,
but it's a very well-known pop culture reference.
Weird, but it doesn't seem, I don't know. I just didn't get it. No, I get the "Here's Johnny" part from the late night, the Johnny Carson show. For me, that's where I get it from first. Before you're talking about The Shining.
I'm talking about The Shining, yeah.
Yeah, no. See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like it doesn't work. I get why they did that with that one character, because I feel like he has a little bit of Jack Nicholson vibe to his face, or maybe he does something with his eyebrows.
I don't know if we should damn this character, who I do not remember even, like, couldn't pick him out of the lineup. Wouldn't know from Adam. I don't know if we're damning this character.
Okay, well, I feel
because
like
your first instinct to the pop culture reference is not the one that it's supposed to be.
So
That's, I feel like his fault.
No, it's not that. It's just I feel like it's almost like it's just a shortcut to like, try to get, you know what I mean? It didn't feel necessary. Okay, so what we're talking about, season 3, episode 1, The Magnificent Seven, it's pride, which is one of the 7 deadly sins. So you see him sort of in the background with the group of them. And then when they're in the house and he and some other sins break into where the room Sam's in, and he comes in, then does a "Here's Johnny," and I hate it with a passion. I just feel like it's such a weird thing to do. I'm so glad that in season 10, Soul Survivor, when Demon Dean breaks through that door with a hammer, he did not say it. I was like, yes, thank you, Jensen Ackles, for directing and saying, even if that was a thing, I'm not going to do it. Maybe in a blooper, but it's not going to happen in the actual thing. So I just liked that wasn't the thing that they just used, as just like this reference. And he was just not. A lot of the sins weren't.
They could have been a lot for the opening of the season. It should have been a lot better.
Yeah. And I mean, like, some of them were really good. I'm pretty sure he's Pride. I looked this up because I was trying to figure out what is he supposed to be? Like, because even like the little bit that he was talking with his little like monologue. I mean, I guess Pride because they were talking
They
about
like a fucking monologue demons, though, don't they?
yeah.
Shut up.
So,
Just shush.
I don't know. Again, for whatever reason, agree to disagree. Let me know, listeners. Am I giving Pride too
Actually,
much of a
no.
hard time with the Here's Johnny
Let
thing?
me know when you hear the phrase "Here's Johnny." Do you go to Johnny Carlson from some late night thingy, whatever?
You would have seen the Johnny Carson show. Yeah, it was like it was
Or do you go to the
iconic.
Shining?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let me make
Well,
sure I've got his name right now. I'm not calling Chuck Yeager or somebody else just because it's been so long, but I'm pretty
I've gotta
sure
say,
it's Johnny Carson.
I've never actually seen The Shining.
I've seen
I
it
know the
once.
references.
It freaks me out. It's one of those yeah, Johnny Carson. Okay, yeah. American television host and comedian. Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. We're going off on a tangent. Here's the thing.
No.
I don't think movies made of Stephen King's books are very good. Nobody come at me. Nobody come at me. I've seen it. I've seen the 1999 thing with Tim Curry, and I saw the remake with the kid from Stranger Things, and
it is very. I love
the really,
for
really, really
nostalgia
fucking
reasons.
hot guy that plays grown-up Ben. I've seen it. All right, I've seen it. I don't like clowns, so it got me. All right, but I couldn't tell you it got me because it's a kick-ass, compelling story. It got me because Bill Skarsgård is fucking scary. The Tim Curry one, I laughed through. That's absurd. But I didn't watch it in '99, so whatever. But I've seen it, and I've seen the Carrie remake with that girl who's in Kick-Ass, Chloe something something.
Okay, I never watched that one. I just saw the original.
Carrie is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a it's a good story. It's like a cute little it's a good short story. Like it's a good little horror movie. But I've never made it through the book because I really I've tried to read King, y'all.
How about the Shawshank Redemption? That's a great movie.
That doesn't count.
Why doesn't it count?
Because the movie expands on the novella so much.
I wouldn't say it expands on the novella in terms of plot and that kind of stuff. I think character wise it expands a little bit more. But I think that's a very
Redemption
true to
is a kick-ass movie.
Stand By Me. Stand By Me.
Never seen it.
Oh, Kasey, you hurt my little Gen X heart. Oh my, you've never seen Stand By Me?
Nope. I watched the remake of Pet Sematary with my husband.
I think here's the problem. Okay, first of all, if the original movies,
first of all, your pop culture references are wrong.
If the original movies are not that great, don't go trying to do a remake of them. Like, first of all, full stop is my take on it. I feel like it is a very campy, nostalgic. I loved the book, so I love that version of it. But I really like the kids section more than I like the adult part of that. At least the TV miniseries that they did with it. Stand By Me, absolutely classic movie. I love that movie, and that's very character driven, and it's very love that. Love the Shawshank Redemption. Oh my gosh, what's the movie with Tom Hanks?
I'm just looking up if that was The Green Mile. Yeah, that was a Stephen King.
That was a really good one too.
Again,
I read that book.
They stand on the casting of the film.
Well, it's not only that; it's whether or not. Okay, so here's my thing. Like Misery, I did enjoy that book, but I thought it was a little kind of out there. But I also love Kathy Bates.
That's the one with the Kathy Bates that she fucking puts the thing in his leg, doesn't she?
Yeah. So, but I will tell you, like one that I can't remember if she won an Oscar for this one too. Dolores Claiborne. I love that movie. It's so character driven, and it has it's a duo kind of a book where it talks about like there was a solar eclipse. So another book that kind of like is a companion piece to that they just did, I think, like a Netflix movie a few years back, which I actually didn't think was that bad. But again, it's more character driven. Was Gerald's Game. I loved that book.
I watched that. I watched that movie.
I loved that book.
thesis is falling apart by the second because that movie was fucking brilliant.
The thriller aspect of that being just her, just reading it, just her and all of the stuff that happens. And again, like the solar eclipse is sort of like the thing that it occurs in both Gerald's Game and Dolores Claiborne. And there's like a split weird second where it's like both of their like brains kind of like are like do like this interspersed and like see what's happening with each other for just briefest of moments in the books. I don't know what it is about Stephen King. And I've heard that he's just always on shit when he writes or whatever, right? But there's something about how he wrote female characters for a brief period of time. I just think he gets something about them. And I don't know what it is. I really do appreciate his writing. I know you don't, and that's fine. We don't have to. But I also think there are some really great versions of his books that are just classic. And those are just like, 5 or 6 that I came up with. Stand By Me is very nostalgic. It's very Gen X, but it's based off of the novella The Body, which also comes from Different Seasons, which has The Shawshank Redemption in it as well. And I think it has Apt Pupil in it, which I think was another movie that was made. I watched, not a great big fan of it. I think Christian. See, this is where we get off the rails on my end, so I'm going to stop right now. All I'm saying is...
No, by all means, carry on, because I'm not ready to derail, because I have factoids.
There are some that are very... God, what are your factoids?
They strapped Stephen King into the electric chair on the set of The Green Mile, and he didn't like it.
Okay.
It made him very uncomfortable, apparently.
Okay.
That's my factoid. That's
okay.
That's
so, yeah, I just think there's certain characters when he gets them... But there's times when he just goes off the rails too. But I love getting into those mindsets. If you've never read Gerald's Game and you really you liked the movie, I would suggest reading it. It's a pretty quick read. It's not very long.
You say that, and I've never made it through Carrie, and that's like 200 pages.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you would like this because it is a little different. It's literally just this character dealing with the fallout of being handcuffed to a bed for like a weekend, and then this foreboding force or thing. It's very creepy too, and it's very just
the movie
in the moment.
Very creepy.
Yeah, it's very in the moment. It's very like survival. Like I've got to get out of here. But she also does all this introspective stuff, and she's going through like why she's even in this situation to begin with, going back to a lot of childhood trauma and different stuff like that. And it's just, that hit me very hard as I think I read it in my early 20s. I felt those things, going on with that character. And I love Dolores Claiborne because it was, again, a very like, from her perspective, and she's not necessarily a likable character, but you understand, what's going on. And the movie's really great too, because it's got Kathy Bates in that. Jennifer Jason Leigh did a really great job.
Kathy Bates and Tom Hanks elevate every, and Morgan Freeman elevate every movie they're in. That's not to say that the actor who played Andy Dufresne, whose name like Tim Robbins, isn't fucking. The movie's so good. The movie's so good.
I
love Shawshank. I love Shawshank Redemption.
And for me, Stand By Me is just very much because it's like it's got the younger. It has River Phoenix, and he has my heart, and he did such a great job, like one of his first movie roles. But it's just a really good, just like coming of age, in just like a matter of like a day, and how one thing kind of changes, your whole perspective. And it's kind of like when you become a grown up. And I think that's kind of like what it kind of like the theme is like, what at what point do you like lose your innocence kind of a situation and you have to face. Yeah. So okay, so I don't know how we got here.
Here's the thing with it, right? Here's the thing with it. The first part of it part 1. Sandra's now highlighting things in the document, like fucking get it together. The first It part 1 is really good. That is children being afraid and still being badasses. That's fine. It all falls apart for me with It part 2 when you find out like the background of Pennywise is so absurd that it just sucks everything out of it for me. And like I don't know, There's something about these grown-ass men and woman, sorry, Beverly, using childish tactics to destroy this evil entity that it should work, but I don't know what it is. I think it's, oh man, I don't know. Like, one of them dies, and I'm like, I don't feel like you could have both. I feel like if you're gonna up the stakes too, and then somebody dies, then I don't feel like you get to use schoolyard bullying to defeat the monster. You know, it's I don't know. The first part of it's great.
I get it. Yeah. I almost think too it's a matter of like overcoming your own demons in a way, and then like giving your inner child the sort of like autonomy to just be sometimes, and like to realize that they did have that strength within them all along. You know, they didn't need to be afraid. So I don't know. Okay, we need to get back on track. We thought this was going to be a quick episode, and we're going to make it into an hour and a half episode if we're not careful. So are you ready to continue to move past the whole Stephen King rant?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We can always come back to it at another time. We could always do that. This next one I'm just going to do because I just like to be a little shit about it. This one is Uncle Ted in episode 4, season 4, episode 11, Family Remains. So, running joke, you know, my husband's name is Ted, and literally every character that we've ever met in some sort of like entertainment, movies, TV, if they're named Ted, we know it's probably not going to be, in our minds, a very likable character. Ted and I just like to do that. So Uncle Ted's like a little bit of a know-it-all. Yeah, and he's just named Ted.
Is that the one where the family
they buy the house, and then the kids are in the walls, kind of a situation.
Yeah, but they're like, it's kind of like the Benders, where they're actually kids, they're not like spirits. Yeah. Uncle Ted, doesn't Uncle Ted die?
He does.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like I remember Uncle Ted fucking off somewhere and then not coming back. Yeah.
So again, he was just kind of like, he was there. I do feel bad for the family that they lost their Uncle Ted, but it was kind of like, whatever.
What are you gonna do? Yeah,
Uncle
right, that's
Ted.
solid.
Every time I say Uncle Ted, I just think of the fact that, you know, his niece and nephew call him Uncle Ted.
Your,
and I'm just
your
like,
husband literally has family members that call him Uncle Ted.
Uncle Ted.
Which, by the way, can I just say, like, Ted's nephew, Joey, who's been on the podcast before, is around my age.
Yeah.
And the fact that he still calls Ted Uncle Ted is the cutest. It's so
cute.
fucking cute. I'm sorry if you're listening to this, Joey. I'm not trying to like infantilize you or anything. It's just so fucking cute.
It's endearing, right? Like it's like
It's really sweet.
You can tell that that they do really like, they still think of him just like as, you know, as Uncle Ted, and it's just
Ted.
like it's very cute. It's very cute.
So cute.
But yeah, so that's kind of why I just threw Uncle Ted in there.
Sorry, Ted.
The next one, and I don't know, I'm interested in your take on this one, Kasey, because this is like Sam related. So
I don't know who the fuck this is.
Okay. So it's season 5, episode 3, and the episode is Free to Be You and Me.
Yeah,
And
the name rings a bell. Tell me what happens in the
Lindsay,
episode.
she's the waitress that this is when Dean and Sam kind of like, they have the falling out and they go their own separate ways.
Is she when he's working in the bar under the name Keith?
Yes.
Oh,
Do
no,
you
I
like
didn't hate
her?
her. She was cute. She was cute.
Okay.
I have thoughts.
Okay. Well, see, so my brain doesn't go that way. So
she might have been played by an actress that I like.
Okay. So I was just kind of like so done with her because she obviously was crushing on Sam, but she was doing this like middle school thing of like, you know, teasing him and doing all, it just grated me. For, I would say like half of her in the episode, I was just like, oh God, come on, girl, get a grip. Just either ask him or don't. Like, don't just, you know, I was just like, and you could kind of tell he just kind of like, he wasn't, it didn't seem like he was into it that much, you know, because I think he was more worried about just keeping himself, you know, under the radar, all that kind of stuff anyway. And she was just doing more things to kind of like, you know, and again, I mean, it is kind of cute to watch him like slicing lemons that look so teeny tiny in his big hands. I think he does that.
See, no, here's the thing. The actress that plays Lindsay is Emma Ball, and if that name doesn't ring a bell, you may know her as Amy from The Walking Dead.
I don't. Yeah.
Listeners may know.
Okay.
She is Andrea's little sister. She doesn't survive season 1.
Okay.
But that's
Is
besides
she
the
a
point.
better character in The Walking Dead?
No. She's very... She's not flirting with anyone, but she's very young. For her
Okay.
age.
So yeah, I mean, I get it. I think this is just a thing where
I will say though, she has the most kick-ass fucking death scene, right?
okay.
Spoilers for season 1 of The Walking Dead. No, it's so fucking cool, Sandra. You have to hear it, right? It's so fucking cool,
Mhm.
right? No. She gets bit that like the camp that it's season 1, so they're all like, "What zombies? Fuck!" and like it's a whole thing, and they're like camped out in this like quarry. Anyway, the zombies find I don't. It's maybe alluded to that they draw the zombies by making a whole load of noise with cars. I don't know. It's a problem.
Okay.
They're all in camp, and zombies get into camp, and nobody realizes. And she's like one of the first that's bitten, right?
Okay.
And she's bitten like in her neck, and she
Okay.
dies like pretty quickly.
Mm.
And Andrea's with her, and it's this whole thing because it's her birthday, and Andrea had got her a gift when they went to go raid the city, and she hadn't managed to give it to her yet, and so she gives it to her when she's dying. And it's just really emotional because there's like a decade between them, and they've kind of, they drifted apart because of where they were at in their life, and it's like Andrea was like, "No, we were finally coming back together." It's so fucking right. And Andrea, like, they try, like, when they fought off all the zombies, they're trying to like burn the dead and stuff. And the people in the camp try and take Amy. Her name is Amy. Try and take Amy's body, and Andrea pulls a gun on them. She's like, "I know where the safety is. It's really fucking good." Andrea is a kick-ass character also, but she refuses to let them take Amy's body, and she sits with her all night. Just sits with the body all night, and it's like she's like on the floor outside, and she sits with her, and she's like crying and telling her it's really moving, right? And because obviously she's not burned and they haven't like stabbed her in the head, Amy comes back to life, and it's so well done because she's kind of like Andrea's like holding her hand, and her hand sort of like starts to twitch. And then her hand like comes up and cups Andrea's face, and it's like almost like this really sweet moment. But then she like makes a fist in her hair and starts to growl.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. It's so badass. So, unfortunately, Lindsay had the sheer bad manners to be played by an actress that I actually really fucking like.
Gotcha.
And I thought it was kind of, I will say, Sam's shirt, Keith's shirt, was doing a lot of heavy lifting in that episode as well.
There's a lot of like good things about that episode. It's just I just didn't particularly like.
This might not be one of them. Yeah.
She just wasn't. She just kind of like again. Most of these people are just grating on my nerves for some reason, and I think that's just
perfectly
what it was.
fine though.
Yeah,
that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
So shout out to Emma Ball. No, we just Lindsay.
Yeah,
Lindsay
it's
was
not you.
Yeah,
it's not you.
It's obviously me. It's me.
No, maybe the character bothers other people as well. She just has
most of these. I think are just me.
You just have the unfortunateness of it being played by a character that I low-key have a crush on.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And I'll forgive a character a lot of sins if the actor or actress has played a badass character in something else. I'm like, no, that's Lindsay, the weird person who's crushing on Keith Sam. That's Amy from The Walking Dead, and she's fucking badass.
That's why this next one, I'm not sure, because I don't remember if you told me whether or not you particularly like this person. So the next one is season 5, episode 5, Fallen Idols, and it's the Lishi, which is portrayed by Paris Hilton. So are you a Paris Hilton fan? Because I'm not. So this I did not particularly care for.
Here's the thing.
That means yes.
No, I'm not a Paris Hilton fan.
I know you're a Repo the Genetic Opera fan.
But I am a Repo the Genetic Opera fan. And I literally just within the last week watched House of Wax.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking about that too when I wrote it down.
I watched on Valentine's Day with my husband, and I made a comment to my husband. Paris like takes her clothes off because she does that in like nearly all of the movies. Not like nude, but like she's down to her underwear. And she does that in Repo as well. And I remember making a comment to my husband, and I was like, it's a shame that she felt that she had to do that in her movies because she's not actually a bad actress. She's not Kathy Bates. Let's say.
No.
But she's not for the not niche, but for the like, you know, blonde hot girl kind of trope.
Yeah.
She's not the worst I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
She's not inherently a bad actress. Like, you kind of, you know, like, she's believable.
Yeah.
It was fine. I was in with her character in House of Wax. She has the best song in Repo, hands down. And it isn't in the movie, it's in the extras. You gotta find it. It's called Come Up and Try My New Part. It's the sexiest fucking thing on two legs. I swear to God.
I think that's one of Ted's favorites from, like, is it on the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to listen
Show
to
him
that.
the video.
Yeah.
There's a video of it on
He's
YouTube.
probably seen it, but I will ask him if he has seen it.
Girl can move. Let's put it like that.
I'm pretty sure
And
he's
also,
probably watched it then.
if you're like me and you also have a pretty big crush on the grave robber and they're dancing together, and she like, oh man, she's in leather and it's raining and she's like on the floor. Come on now.
Yeah.
If you're attracted to women, like female peoples, I defy you. She's hot. Leave me alone.
And I understand. I feel that it was very appropriate to have her play the character. Like, I don't think that was wrong.
That's the thing.
Know?
That's the thing with that episode. It's such an obvious nod. It's a wax museum. You know, she's the antagonist. Like, it's such an obvious nod.
And it's
to
the
House
whole
of Wax.
fame thing. You know, they're all famous people, individuals that are kind of like using that to like this monster or god, I think, you know, is using that to, you know, get what they need. So I get it. It makes sense why they had her on. Like, you know, there was a lot of like tongue in cheek, like, you know, like especially little quips back and forth that they throw out, you know, that are nods to, you know, House of Wax and all this kind of stuff, or like how Dean is talking to her, Sam. I get it. I just, and I don't know if they necessarily could have found anybody else at the time that would have, you know, made sense. I'm just not a really big, you know, Paris Hilton fan. So
no, that's totally fine. That is an episode I remember not because of a fucking blooper. Boskar and 7 years ago, I wore a funny hat.
That is, there are many good things in that episode. I mean, I know it's a little, you know, questionable, like Gandhi and Lincoln and stuff.
Fallen Idols with 2025 eyes, 15 years after the fact, questionable. Definitely questionable.
But Dean is just content. Like, when he sticks his little thumbs into his jacket, he's just like with his like force. Yeah, I love that. There's just certain things.
Wore a funny hat.
Dean will help me forgive many a sin of Supernaturals, and that's probably one of them. But so that was that one. So the next one is just definitely just more of the portrayal of the monster, not the actors or anything, just what Supernatural decided to do with it. And it is season 6, episode 12, Like a Virgin. And it's the dragons. It's when you first get your glimpse into what a dragon is. And
this is a dragon. This is a kick-ass mythical being, but it looks just like a dude.
And I get it. You know, they what could they do? Most of their bad baddies are, you know, in human form. So I get it, but it's like, then just don't use them. Like, come up with a different monster, you know?
Yeah. There's got to be lore out there about something that eats virgins that isn't a dragon.
I think they did interesting things with the direction, you know, where like you don't have to see it to see how it's like attacking, like swooping down onto like different people.
The shadows and stuff.
Yeah, that
that's
stuff
cool.
was neat. But it was once you get it, and you see it, then just don't show it to us. Like, just don't show it to us. You know, you probably could have like directed it in a way where it was never seen. So it just made it underwhelming for me.
Yeah, that's one of the crucial things about like filmmaking, isn't it? Sometimes the monster you don't see, it's far scarier. Once you show us the thing, it loses all of its power.
And I mean, this was the one that I was like question mark, because I don't think we see them again. But again, someone else who might be like, I don't think. We might get mention of them, but I don't think we actually like see another dragon again. So if I'm wrong with this, let me know. The next one is season 7, episode 8, and it's Shut Up, Dr. Phil. And it's Don and Maggie Stark, the married witches that made their spat everyone else's problem.
Yeah. It's the same kind of vibe as Bloodlines, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or the state of the world currently. We have all the power and we're gonna bitch at each other and we're gonna make it everyone else's
and this
problem.
is and isn't the orange puppets actually like named in this episode too? I think,
Dean
as
makes
well.
Dean makes a it's not overly positive and praising, but it's not the kind of derision that you want in 2025 or 24.
No.
Yeah, but that always makes me comfortable because he's like, there's a picture of him on the wall, and Dean makes mention of him, and I'm like, oh, that's aged.
Yeah, I think that was like
20.
I think that was like 2012 or something, maybe like at the time. Yeah. So it wasn't that great of a comment either back then, but yeah, but this is around the time too where you've got Dick Roman, and he is epitomizing Orange Puppet, anyway, in this season. So I think there were just references were going to happen that way. But no, I really like the actors because they're from Buffy fame anyway. James, I think it's Marsters, he played Spike.
Oh yeah,
in Buffy.
Yeah, he does. I never fucking recognize that guy as James Masters because when I think of him, I always think of him as the blonde.
Yeah, and Charisma Carpenter played Cordelia, and I always she's like the know-it-all, the most popular girl, but then she really does have more of a backstory that I think gets revealed more in like the spin-off Angel too. So I have a soft spot for her as a character. So then to see them do this, I get why they did it. It was like a big name guest stars, and then bringing them together. It's like, ooh, but I didn't like the episode. I just didn't like the episode. I think they weren't used. They weren't used well. I think they tried to elevate it as much as they could, but it just wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah,
great.
the premise of it again. And I know it was another one of those Skeevy Witch episodes, but the whole premise, like, oh, we're having a marital spat and we're going to make it the fucking town's problem. Shut up.
Yeah, and I think there's so much more you can do with witches that I don't know. They didn't really get into their groove with it until Rowena came. I feel like it really took them a while to really find
and they were, but
a
even
good representation.
Then they weren't really. I know that's the one with the there are hearts in my cupcakes.
Yeah,
but they've definitely gone grosser with the witches.
Oh yeah, season 3
other episodes. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well you didn't go far enough in any direction really. You stayed real fucking safe because you had these 2 big name guest stars and you thought that was going to carry you through.
Yeah. So there's that one. This next one, oh god.
I'm really conflicted on this one.
So this is season 7, episode 15. It's called Repo Man, and I'm also conflicted about this one. It's Jeffrey, the formerly possessed by a demon and brutalized by the Winchesters. When he was possessed, he's dealing with like major Stockholm syndrome. He's got a little bit of a love-hate. He's trying to get back to his demon. Like he wants to he wants to be combined with him again. Like he wants his demon back. Yeah, I have a love-hate with this character because I actually thought like the portrayal, the backstory, the episode in general, I thought was really great. And like the twist, I didn't see coming either right away. So I thought that the way it was written and the way the actor portrayed this character was really great, but I can't forgive what he did to the dog. So I hate him. I feel like he's one of the worst one-off characters ever.
And that's
Kasey.
Valid. Yeah, no, there's a lot of, don't kill the dog. Yeah, no, the thing with the dog, I really can't get over that. Here's the thing though, as wanting your demon back stories go, I think Jeffrey did it better in that one episode than the character of Nick did in that whole arc.
Oh, absolutely.
And isn't that fucking weird?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Like I said, it's just he could have done that without killing the dog. Like I wouldn't even cared if he like did something to the kid, but he did something to the dog. Like he took the kid's ear off and it was fine. But the dog.
If we had not seen him leading the dog around the corner and heard that god awful yell, would it have been better if we'd have just been like, we established that he has a dog and then he appears with a bowl of blood and we never see the dog again and you put it together?
What makes it worse is how much how well it looked like he was treating the dog before. Like that's what makes it so bad for me. Like he gave the dog a sense of security and then it was done. So it's like, man, at least have shown your true self to the dog. But I know he couldn't have done that, right? Like it just wasn't a thing. Like what his actual goal was with the dog, motivation to get the dog. It was just, I was just very He hurt the
Hashtag
dog.
justice for the dog.
Justice for the dog.
Did the dog even have a name?
I think so, but I kind of don't even want to remember what the dog's name was because it would make me even more sad.
Justice for the fluffy white dog.
It's like whenever I remember in season 1 that Bobby had a dog whose name was Rumsfeld, and it just makes me mad that like you could hear off screen that the dog got it, and I'm just like, that upsets me. Like I had to put that into a story that I wrote because I was really upset. So dogs, I don't like it when dogs, cats, any animal has to get.
That's
hurt.
why there's a webpage called "Does the Dog Die?" We're very sensitive. Do we want the humans? Leave the puppers alone.
Do they put TV episodes in there too, or is it just movies on that?
Oh yeah,
because somebody should put the episodes about the dogs from Supernatural in there if it's not there already. The next one is this is from season 8, episode 3, Heartache.
It says movies, TV, books, video games, and more.
Okay, so then maybe they have it. Maybe they have Supernatural in there. They should. If not, we need to put a little pin in that and go back to that and see if we can help people out about the dogs in Supernatural.
I just searched Supernatural, so I'm having a look. Season 7, episode 15, a very small, cute dog is killed for its heart to be used in a ritual.
But they need to mention Rumsfeld again. Justice for Rumsfeld.
It
season
says
1. Does he get it?
Season 4, episode 11, a dog is heard being killed. I don't know what.
That's in Family Remains. The dog gets it too. In that, it's another reason not to like that episode. But
this covers many triggers. Abandonment. Is a child abandoned by the parents? Sam and Dean are left to fend for themselves for most of their childhood because John Winchester is a jerk. The plot of season 1 is them looking for their dad who just up and disappeared.
Okay, but they need to send me that link because somebody needs to remind them that a dog in season 1 gets killed.
I think you can add a comment about it.
Okay, I'm going.
Yeah,
to
you can. You can sign in. You can add a comment about it. Put that in
get me into all the wikis, people. I'm going to make sure stuff happens.
Sandra's on a roll. She made a wiki entry and now she can't be stopped.
Oh goodness. So the next one is Randa. She's the ringleader of like the organ donor brigade in this episode. Do you remember? This is like the one that has the god that's like he's like immortal. He keeps like turning into different sports figures, and then the woman that lives with him is actually his wife, but she's so much older that they think initially.
That's not. This is not. Here we go. Kasey knows shit by bloopers. I think it's Hibbing 911 or whatever. That's not the one where Sam and Dean are watching something on the CCTV, and Dean's line is, "Come on, move." But Jensen fucks it up and says "Roove," and then Jared is like, "Yeah, Roove," and just like rips on him for a little bit. I think that might be Hibbing.
I'm not sure because that's season 10.
Yeah, the ringleader of the organ. I think
she's a stripper in a like they end up at a strip club.
This isn't the one where Sam gets captured and they're auctioning off his bits, is it?
No. That's season 13. That's I think that's Breakdown. I think that's what the title of that one. No. She's a stripper. She's like, so they've gotten different. Oh
shit! This is a Jensen direct.
I wrote this. So again, So what I think, I honestly don't remember a lot of the plot because it's such a weird episode. I just didn't like her. Again, her portrayal, underwhelming. A lot of the stuff didn't feel very threatening, I think, in this episode with them. But she is responsible for Dean being restrained by two burly dudes while she straddles him. So can I really be that mad at her?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty weak episode overall. Sorry, Director Ackles. I am still so very curious as to our man, Mr. Ackles. And
hey, Jensen's dad's in this episode.
Yeah, he's got a little brief he's like one of the detectives. Yeah, detectives in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. This is the one with the football player with the eyeballs.
Yeah, I think so. So. Yeah. It's very, again.
Yeah.
Jensen knows how to put himself in positions that people really do like just like with Do It. Like, I don't know, man. I still want to get into his brain sometimes, but like she's straddling him, she runs a finger down his shirt, he's like being held back. I'm like, okay. That's a one saving grace of this episode.
Oh, trivia.
And he does look really good in it. He's so. I think this is one of the episodes where he's like he wears a white shirt. He's got one of his white like FBI shirts, and I think like a lot of people use like he makes things okay to an extent, but I just didn't like her as a character. She was kind of underwhelming for me. So.
Oh, I know why. I know why this episode doesn't ring in my head. When I googled it, it showed me the fucking Amelia and the dog and the picnic, and that's why. Because it's one of those stupid Amelia episodes, and I'm like, meh.
But yep. I think it's really good Jared hair in the beginning. Like I think they might be at a farmer's market, and it's like outside in the sun. I think it might be a sunny
it's early S8 when he had beautiful hair.
Yeah, so Ackles knows how to shoot Jared too, like for everybody's enjoyment. So way to go there, Ackles. But yeah, I just didn't really like the episode was just weak, and I think I liked her cronies more than I liked her. Like as for her to be the ringleader was just kind of like, eh. So
yeah. Interesting IMDb trivia here. Jensen says that when asked about memorable moments for him, said that having the opportunity to direct his dad in this episode ranks high on his list. That's so cute.
It is cute. I wish it was in a better episode, but it's very cute. It's
Apparently,
very cute.
he directed his dad in Weekend at Bobby's as well.
His dad was in that too?
His uncredited voiceover.
Oh, okay. Oh, so maybe.
There's a really cute behind the scenes of him and his dad like grinning into the car. Oh yeah, no, this is early when he's still got his hiatus tan, and he's got. I'm looking at a picture of him now with his really earnest eyebrows.
Yeah, they both look really tan in this episode. So it's really, and the way they used to direct, like Jensen, if he was directing an episode, it would always be like maybe the first or second episode that they would film at the start. I think
they did them
the prepping and stuff. There's a lot of prepping involved for a director, so they would give him time to do all of that before, so he would usually get one of the first, like 1 to 4 episodes, I think, that would show up in the season. So, I think you just look at the draw. Unfortunately, he just didn't get. It wasn't a great episode.
Sometimes it do be that way.
Look
at his picture. Look at him.
Where are you showing it to me?
It's in
I did see that before. It's very cute.
Look at him.
It's very cute. Oh. Have you watched Devour yet?
My DVD copy of it just came today.
His dad's in that. His dad plays his dad. So,
there's a pretty cute picture of Sam, Amelia, and the dog on IMDb.
Yeah, I think that's at the very end. You see, there's a little quick little flashback of that.
Yeah, it's a cute dog.
She looks so good. Okay, so again, at least there's that.
Tanned and beautiful.
There's that for that episode, but yeah,
that episode has a lot of things going for it. It's got the beautiful moose hair. It's got Jensen and his dad being the cutest motherfuckers on the planet.
It just didn't have
a
great
moose hair.
Just didn't have a great one-off character.
It's got that cute little dog in it. Just unfortunately that.
Yeah. So
what are you gonna do?
I saved this last one. I didn't even have to.
IMDb. That's what I'm going to do. Get off IMDb.
This is the last one. This is the one that when we talked about worst one-off characters, this one immediately came to my mind. Immediately. As one of the worst one-off characters ever. It's our last one. It is from season 14, episode 1. It does have a grief beard in it, so it's okay.
It has
the Dom voice in it. So all of those things are going for it, right? But it has one of the most annoying characters that I was so glad got killed right off the bat, because I said, oh no, you are not doing Crowley this way. Nope. You are not doing this. So the character's name is Kip. He is wants to be king of the Crossroads demons. And he goes, has a chat with Cass, has a chat with Sam at this bar, and they're talking. He's doing his whole monologuing thing. He is so annoying. He's one of the most annoying characters between him and Colonel Sanders, two of the most annoying characters on this show for me. So I was so glad because I had to deal with.
I don't know. I feel like maybe he gets a pass because, like, oh, Jared pulled that voice up from his nuts.
Okay, but I'm not talking about what Jared like. I'm just talking about. I was like, really? This is what you're going to replace Crowley with? I said, there's no way that's going to fly.
Yeah,
that's the
fair.
stupidest thing ever. And thank God they killed him right away. And then Sam was like, no one's
there will be no new king of hell. Anyone who wants to try is going to go through me.
Go through me. Yeah, no, that's not happening. So I was so glad that happened. But the worst in my mind, like one of the worst one-off character. Like as soon as we talked about this, I'm like, I already got one.
Yeah,
and that was who it was. No Kip. Yep. No. It's just Kip. Who do we know is named Kip? Any Kips out there? I'm really sorry, but it's like Ted to me. Like if you see somebody named Kip, you know it. This is
Kip is a gym bro. That's who Kip is. Kip is
this is like the 80s. This is like the 80s kids with the sweaters that they tie around. That they're just like the frat boys, like a Kip. Like, and I'm just like, ugh. So.
Do you think it's because it makes you think of Biff from Back to the Future? Because
that's the name. No, the name is not a thing. Just in general, as soon as the character started talking, I was like, oh my God, we are not doing this.
Oh, okay.
This is one of those moments, and maybe we do an episode where we're like, Supernatural, you're really testing me. You're really testing me.
Yep.
So again, that was it. So that
for some reason, that episode for me is The Great Pumpkin Sam Winchester. I don't know what it is. I fucking hate that episode. I don't know what it is.
I think that's something we have to dig into at some point. Like maybe what episodes really made you consider just not watching anymore? Like what was like a turn? Like this is really giving me pause. Kind of a situation.
Why wasn't it Mystery Spa? You got me trying to think now.
Well, no, we're gonna say we'll save that. We'll save that for another time because we do actually have to wrap up because we've got another.
We got other shit to do. We're busy people. When we record, we're busy.
We are like on it, but we kind of wanted to just throw this out there. We're really interested in finding out, like who are your worst one-offs. Let me know if I missed. Like, let me know if I was wrong.
I'm sitting here trying to think
if they showed up again. And I don't think so. But the dragons, I'm really questioning. But I think maybe just mentioned. But I could be wrong.
So the only one I can think of is that dude witch that has the familiar that turns into the dog. I forget his name. I remember
that's man's best friend with benefits. We didn't mention. I was going to mention them, but then I was like, trust me. I could have kept going.
The thing about it is, it's not. My issues with that are not about the episode or the characters. My issues about it are, the
representation and the
presentation and the utter blindness of whoever signed off on that fucking decision.
Again, writers.
Social commentary.
There's some writers that are very questionable that make you go, what the fuck? Okay, otherwise, we are going to wrap up. Yeah. So
let us know, though, if we missed any. Who's your favorite worst character or least favorite one-off character? What words? Words.
Let us know. So you can let us know what you thought of the episode by emailing us at idlingintheimpala@gmail.com. You can comment on Spotify in the Q&A section. You can leave a YouTube comment. Join our Discord and chat with fellow idlers and us in real time. Check out our merch store, which is another fun way to show your support. If you do not already know and you have not already gotten your merch for Pride 2025, go to our website immediately. Go check out the stuff that we have for the fundraiser, Ride with Pride. It's great. Pick something up, show your support for us and a really great cause that way. You can find details for everything on our website. That's idlingintheimpala.com. Want to fuel our supernatural road trip? Consider joining us on Ko-fi for as little as $1 a month. We have perks to go along with different membership tiers and would love to have you along for the ride.
Speaking of perks, we've got special shout outs for some of our Ko-fi members. From Shotgun Picks and Music tier, we've got Crowley's Mistress, Runaway Dreamer, and Sam and Dean 76. From our own Mrs. Butters here, we've got Charlie. Thanks for picking the tunes in the car and keeping the lights on in the bunker. Support like yours keeps our podcast going. Thank you. Don't forget, you can always support us for free by liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube, and following, rating, sharing on audio platforms. Engagement like that really helps us with the algorithms. All hail their benevolence. As always, we have the causes we support in the description. So for me, you have LGBTQ plus talking charities. From Sandra, you have mental health charities. And the main causes that we are highlighting, championing, spotlighting are World Central Kitchen and Doctors Without Borders. If you want to know more about these causes, why we're supporting them, what they mean to us, check out idlingintheimpala.com. There is a page there called Causes Cause with all the details. And with that, we will say thank you for joining us in the back seat, and we will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.